The way people chase the dream of their perfect body is changing. The pressure men are now facing is similar to what women have had to deal with for decades. Diets, workouts, days spent in the gym, and for many young men especially, anabolic steroids are being increasingly used to help achieve that dream.
Hi, I'm Will. I've been bodybuilding naturally since I was a scrawny 15-year-old. Since then, I've managed to build a somewhat decent physique during my 8 years of training, as well as competing naturally on numerous occasions and even winning a national title. However, I noticed that the bigger and stronger I got as a natural bodybuilder, the more I got asked this one question.
Are you planning for taking steroids in the future?
Stay tuned for my answer and as to reasons to why within this Q&A video.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I feel like I haven't said this for a very long time. I believe the last vlog style video was back in October, which was my last bodybuilding competition. However, we are back now consistently making videos on YouTube. As you could probably tell from the title of the video, this will be a Q&A video. Instead of making it boring and just sitting there answering one question after the other, I thought I might make it a vlog style kind of day in a life kind of thing and just answering questions in between. So yeah, I'll take you guys throughout the day answering some of your best questions you sent in. I'm currently right now out on a morning stroll, beautiful weather. I'll meet you guys back at home to begin this day.
Right, straight into the main purpose of this video, the Q&A. How tall are you and how much do you weigh? So I'm 6'3" and currently this morning I weighed in at 240 pounds. I'm not sure what that is in kg on top of my head, but I'll put it on the screen anyway. How long have you been training? I started training when I was 15 years old in 2015. Coming up this year, it will be 8 years in total. 23 years old now, and yeah, still enjoying the process, and it's crazy how quick the time has flown past when you're enjoying something. What shows are you doing this year? I'm not doing any shows this year. I currently just started my off season, which will last until the end of the first quarter of the next year. I am targeting to compete again next year, ideally middle of the year, so yeah. Favorite muscle to train? At the moment it is back, but on a monthly basis it sometimes changes. Like when I first started training it was chest. At one point I think it was legs, but right now it is back, as it's one of the weak points that I'm really trying to bring up. So on my back session, it's like I'm super hyper focused, and anytime I have a weak body part that I'm trying to bring up, like I place so much emphasis on it that I actually end up enjoying it, if that makes sense. Back days right now are the best days for me. Favorite boxer and MMA fighter and why? So for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge combat sports fans of, you know, boxing and MMA. Favorite current fighters right now in boxing, it would probably be a tie between Errol Spence and Gervonta Davis, but if I had to pick one out of them, it would probably be Errol Spence. Favorite MMA fighter, which is probably a casual answer, is probably Conor McGregor. Reasons for them too, boxing wise, Errol Spence, really like his mindset, his story, how he's overcome his recent adversity, and he's just a sick fighter overall. Conor McGregor, exciting, got the personality, and I like the way he actually fights, his style of combat. So yeah, top 5 bodybuilders of all time. All right, let's get number 1 straight out the way. Ronnie Coleman. That's me being 100% biased towards him, as I think he is my favorite bodybuilder of all time. Phil Heath, you have to put Arnold in there, Dorian Yates, and I'd probably say Dexter Jackson in my opinion, but that's just my personal top 5 bodybuilders of all time. Comment down below your favorite top 5 bodybuilders of all time. Will be interesting. I'll be having a look to see whether some of you guys prefer the old school guys, the current guys, or a mixture of all the generations mixed together. Favorite cheat meal? Right now, I don't know why, but it's just been a standard Domino's Meteor pizza. To some people, it'll probably be ill, but at the minute, that's just what I'm feeling, so yeah. What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't a bodybuilder? I'm quite naturally creative, so anything on the creative spectrum. I do enjoy videography, editing, and occasionally photography, so I think anything along them lines, or even anything along the lines of film production, and yeah, OnlyFans.
Lord Jesus.
What does your workout plan look like? I train 5 days a week. I will put it up on the screen now. Would you consider competing in MMA after bodybuilding? I don't know about MMA, that's a bit too rough for me. However, recently I've really become a huge boxing fan, so I really would like to do a charity boxing match or like a white collar boxing match sometime in the future. Nothing serious, but yeah, that would be something that's on my bucket list that I would be looking to tick off. Who do you look up to? I'd say I don't really look up to anyone in particular, but I do respect and look up to anyone that works hard, is passionate, has a real good mentality. That's the sort of people that I look up to. If you're just looking for one person, I wouldn't say like I have one person that I specifically look up to. So yeah, anyone that poses attributes that I respect and admire are the people that I look up to. Have you ever been injured? Touch wood. No, I have never been injured. However, I have had some near freak death, not death, but some near freak experiences in the gym. Few to name off the top of my head. One time I remember, I think I was like 17, 18 years old. I was doing incline dumbbell press and there was a lot of dumbbells at the floor where everyone was just being messy at the gym. This wasn't at my current gym, by the way. So yeah, this was not World's gym. I went to drop the dumbbells done. After I was done, I think there was like 30 or 40 kilos and I got my index finger here trapped in the middle of two dumbbells. It split my whole finger open and I can see my bone and everything. But yeah, that one was horrible. Put your dumbbells back when you're finished with them. Have you ever experienced body dysmorphia? I didn't actually realize how much this was a common thing within the fitness industry or the gym industry, but it kind of does make sense, the amount of people that get into training because they're not happy the way they look. But yeah, I have experienced body dysmorphia before, but this was at the initial stage of my training career, whatever you want to call it. It was the point where I was really skinny, super self-conscious and insecure, and that's the only time I'd say I pretty much experienced body dysmorphia. As my physique started to progress and I started to get bigger and gain muscle, it became less and less. I do understand some people still have it even though they've gained loads of muscle, but I haven't really experienced that, just because I'd say even though I enjoy bodybuilding and training in the gym, mentally I still know I'm not attached to my physique, as my self-worth and self-esteem isn't tied into my physique or the way I look, and more is tied into who I am being as a person on a daily basis. Do you ever consider powerlifting? Most likely not, but never say never. My sole interest and purpose is in bodybuilding, and I don't try and pursue anything that I'm not passionate about or that I don't think I'd be very well at. What advice would you give to a skinny teen trying to build muscle? Now, I've just written down a few notes on my phone to be able to try and answer these questions. So if you see me looking at my phone, it's because I'm trying to answer this question. Seeing as though I was in the same position as you, being a skinny teen, here are some of the things that helped me build some muscle in the first few months to a year within joining the gym. So first things first, training. Focus on getting really good and strong at the basic, being compound movements such as your squat, bench and deadlift, as well as basic isolation exercises for each body part. Aim to build a solid mind to muscle connection. Learn how to be aware of how your muscle is contracting on every movement, as opposed to just going through the motion or lifting weights from A to B. As a skinny guy, or even a newbie in that case, you'll get bigger and stronger anyway. However, focus on mastering the basics before going on to advanced techniques such as progressive overload. My second tip being nutrition. A calorie surplus of 200 to 400 above your maintenance calorie will be more than enough to provide you with the extra energy needed to build new muscle. Also shoot for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight within those calories. Don't use the excuse of, oh, I'm a skinny guy with a fast metabolism, which is what I did in the past, and slam down thousands of excess calories like I did in the past as well. Although you'll still gain muscle, you'll also put on a lot of unnecessary body fat like I once did. Don't make that excuse just because your metabolism is fast. Try and keep your diet somewhat balanced. My next tip, recovery. Muscles are built outside of the gym, so make sure your recovery is on point by making sure your sleep is dialed in at least 8 hours a night, and ensure you're taking at least 2 rest days a week for your body to recover from the stress you've placed onto it during the week in the gym. Another mistake I made as a skinny teen was not optimizing and utilizing the full benefits of recovery when it comes to building muscle. As I said, muscles are built outside of the gym. That is a fact. When you're recovering, when you're sleeping, that's when they're getting bigger and stronger. So make the most of them and utilize them. Like if you're just going to overtrain like I did, training 7 days a week as a skinny kid thinking, oh, I need to get this muscle in really quickly, all you're going to do is prolong your recovery and add to more stress levels within your body, which is actually very counterproductive when it comes to building muscle, as your cortisol levels will be through the roof, and yeah, you're just being counterproductive within your journeys. Rest is also part of the program. My last and final tip, very obvious, be consistent. The longer you're consistent in it, the more results you'll get. Your body is a manifestation of your will. The more you stick at the things you know you should be doing, the more your physique will reflect that. Be consistent and trust me, the gains will be on the way. However, I'm going to wrap up this bit of the Q&A session, have a pre-workout meal in, and then we're going to bounce to the gym and I'll answer more of these questions throughout the whole day. Pre-workout meal going in, we've got some fried rice, chicken, bell peppers, onions, and of course some greens, some asparagus.
All right, not so fast. This parcel literally just came through the door as I was getting ready for the gym. How convenient. It is from my supplement sponsor, Optimum Nutrition. You guys may or may not know by now. So yeah, let's open this up and see what we have. Alright, first up we have the legendary gold standard whey protein. I'm liking this flavour at the minute. It's the delicious strawberry. I can't get enough of it at the minute. We've got a new hat for myself. I actually like this fit. I might actually wear this for today's workout. We have an Optimum Nutrition tank vest to get a wicked pump in. We've got the brand new design of the Optimum Nutrition shaker, which I'll be making very much use of. We've got a brand new gym bag. And lastly, for this month's order, we have 2 crispy protein bars. We have the marshmallow flavor and we have the peanut butter flavor. This is absolutely my favorite flavor at the minute. If I'm being completely honest, I'm smashing 2 of these a day. Very easy way for me to consume 40 grams of protein, and they also taste delicious. As I said, yes, I do have 2 of these a day. But yeah, that sums up this month's supplement order. Want to get ready now, go to the gym. And if you want to shop at Optimum Nutrition and receive 20% off your entire order, don't forget to use my discount code, which should be on the screen now. But yeah, it's time for me to get ready now. I'll meet you guys over at the gym.
So down here at the base, Walls Gym Warsaw, you guys already know by now. Even though it's a Q&A session, I thought I might as well bring you guys along for today's session, which is going to be chest day. I will probably answer a few more Q&A questions at the end of the workout, but the way I'll edit it, it will be in between like the exercises. So yeah, stay tuned. So warm up done, ready for chest day now. Always remember, don't forget to warm up. There's an extra 5-10 minutes, but you know what? It really does prevent injury, keeps you in this game for a very long time, as well as primes your body mentally and physically ahead of the heavy workout. So let's get into it. Are you still seeing gains and huge progress after training for a long time? I wouldn't say huge progress, but I'm definitely still progressing. But if I'm being honest, as a natural bodybuilder, for me to progress, like I have to be consistently on point. Mentally, I need to be switched on with my nutrition recovery, just so I can perform to that level in the gym. What if strength numbers are going up, but size is not increasing? Is that to do with genetics? I think gaining strength comes naturally over time. Obviously, the more you train, like the stronger you are gonna get. But when it comes to building muscle, you have to remember that building muscle is actually a skill. Like, how are you executing the movement? Like, are all your variables in check when it comes to building muscle? There has been a period of time as well for myself in the past where I have got stronger. But let's say like a couple months down the line, I'm still doing the same weight, but with a much better execution. So that means, you know, I'm recruiting way more muscle fibers and I'm actually making my muscles work, because you can kind of get carried away, as you guys know, in the gym with form and just chase numbers. But how are you doing that movement? The harder you make that movement, the more muscle fibers you're recruiting, the more muscle you're really going to build. I think it has little to do with genetics and more to do with how you perform the exercise and the execution and the intensity. opinion on alcohol and weed with bodybuilding. I'm going to be brutally honest, it's not the most optimal thing and it's very counterproductive when it comes to building muscle. So you want to put your body in position to be as receptive as possible and in the best optimal state to build muscle. When it comes to, you know, consuming alcohol and, you know, cannabis, like there's way more disadvantages than advantages when it comes to building muscle. I myself don't do it. Don't get me wrong, if you're training in the gym and you're not taking bodybuilding seriously, or if you're just training in the gym, then it's all right to have a balance. But if you're serious about bodybuilding and serious about your training, it's not gonna be the most optimal things to do. Hey bro, proud of you and what you're doing. How do you lose weight while building muscle while in a calorie deficit and having a slow metabolism? It's very, very hard to do both. I'd say if I was you, stick to one, whether that's building muscle or losing body fat. I'm guessing you probably want to lose body fat, so I'd concentrate on losing body fat first and getting the most out of that. At that stage, once you have a new body composition, and slowly lean bulk to gain muscle. When you're in a calorie deficit, like your body hasn't got enough energy to build muscle, so yeah.
I'm all over the place, you know, car, speed, race, another mom, daddy, she was a ready, she was on it, ready, I was on it, heavy, said, oh, it's so sexy, sexy, so she let me take it, and come check the bullshit, and listen, another mom, daddy, she was on it, ready, I was on it, heavy, said, oh, it's so sexy.
Squat, bench and deadlift PR. The most I've done on squats is 5 plates, which is 220 kilos for 12 reps. I haven't really tested my 1 rep max on squat, have I? Actually, I think the most I've gone up to is 260 for like 3 reps. Deadlift, just recently pulled 300 kg. Bench press is at 190 kilos. If you could train with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? Very easy question. The king, Ronnie Coleman.
Wait! Woo!
How important are genetics in bodybuilding? Very important. How do you stay motivated all the time? I don't stay motivated all the time. I just try and stay as disciplined as possible. Even though bodybuilding is something I'm extremely passionate about and I enjoy, there's still moments where I lapse within motivation, but then I just remember the goal of where I'm trying to get to, and that just keeps me motivated, as you could say. But I think the main thing it comes down to for me is discipline. And as the years have gone on and the progress has developed, I found more satisfaction with staying disciplined as opposed to being motivated, if that makes sense. So that's the chest workout wrapped up. The workout will be in the description below. I'm going to wrap up the rest of the questions once I get home.
So currently the next day, I actually completely forgot that once I got home yesterday from the gym that I was filming a whole YouTube video. Finishing off with the last question of this Q&A. Before I answer this question too, yeah, if I had £1 for every time I got asked this question since I began bodybuilding or training, I'd be a very wealthy man right now. Like for this Q&A video alone, I've literally counted 14 people have asked me the same question, so it was only right I left it till last. And that is, are you planning for taking steroids in the future? Honest answer, for in the future, it would literally depend on the situation and the scenario. Let me explain. For me personally, it's something that I've never really cared for, believe it or not, even though I am really passionate about bodybuilding. Like the reason why I got into bodybuilding was because of the training aspect in the gym. That was the main thing that was giving me passion and enjoyment, you could say, of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was like a byproduct like 2, 3, 4 years down the line of joining the gym. And even still now today, like the main buzz I get on a daily basis is being my best at the gym and slowly progressing as the weeks go on, months go on, and just setting new goals. Like that for me is enough satisfaction, more than bodybuilding could give me. I'm still making progress, I'm still getting bigger, I'm still getting stronger. I've never really had the thought in my head, oh, I feel like I need to do this. Like I've always been content with myself, bodybuilding and training aside. So I think that's one of the the big things people are always shocked about when I tell them. Now, the reason why I say it depends on the situation in the future, because I honestly, hand on heart, like, I have no interest in steroids at all. Like, I get why they use and that. I don't really have any particular opinion on them. Now, going in deeper into my answer on when or if I would choose to go down that route will be completely dependent on if I feel like I've completely maxed out my genetic potential in terms of the amount of muscle I can put on for bodybuilding. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, a scenario where I achieve the IFBB pro status, which is, you know, the pinnacle of bodybuilding, to be competing with the pros at the highest level. Say I did that naturally, which is very possible nowadays, as I've seen numerous natural athletes achieve their IFBB pro status. Say I did get that and I felt that I could be competitive at a pro level, that's the only circumstance where I would really have a think about it. But if that wasn't the case, then I would completely refrain from that. And that's me being genuine and honest with you guys, because I feel like I really don't see the point of taking performance enhancing drugs unless you're competing at the highest level. Obviously with bodybuilding, it's pretty evident and well known that, you know, most of the top pros and Mr. Olympias or whatever are taking performance enhancing drugs. So yeah, in my eyes, like, I've always seen it as a thing of, if I'm not going to be a top pro and I'm not going to, you know, cover my fundamentals, I can't really see myself doing it, because let's face it does come with a lot of health risks and side effects, no matter how safe you are with it. And, you know, just hearing stories from people in the industry, like, I don't really know too much about it, but from what I've seen from watching YouTube videos and just, you know, social media as a whole, a lot of people do regret the decisions they've made. And something like that, where you are literally altering the chemical structure of your body, I feel should be taken very seriously, and not just for the sake of doing it or with a quick impulse decision. Another thing that I wanted to bring up or rant about is the pressure young guys my age feel the need to take steroids. Like, I saw an article the other day where it said 500,000 teenagers are taking steroids, and that is quite a scary thing in my eyes. Like, one of those things that I feel that guys just go into the gym and they don't really give a thought about it until it's too late. Like, the amount of times I spoke to numerous people, some even my age now, who are completely off it, they deeply regret their decisions, and like, they do realize it was an impulsive mistake. So if you are that guy, like, just focus on your journey and keep making small progress. And the most important thing I'd say is master the fundamentals. Try and optimize your training, try and optimize your recovery, and try and optimize your nutrition. Try and optimize every single variable you can to the highest degree, and stick at it for a long period of time, for 2-3 years, and trust me, you'll be completely amazed at what you can accomplish, because it can be done and it has been done before. But anyway, that wraps up the end of this Q&A session. Big shout out to you lot who I've got involved. Shout out to my sponsors, Optimum Nutrition. You guys know the code by now. willchicomb20 will save you 20% off at checkout. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.